How you doing? Jeffrey Munson here. I want to do a quick little video here on the Pick Six on Thursday for Del Mar. Huge carryover, 140 grand plus. A lot of people think it's going to go over $1 million. Not sure on that, but there's going to be a bunch of money up for grabs. So I thought we'd have some fun. First, before we start, big shout out to Gabe Artanian putting together this Facebook group, Live and Breathe. And he does a lot of hard work on that. So shout out to Gabe. So try to go as quickly as possible. I don't want to bore y'all, but Pick Six going to be huge, and it looks like a pretty competitive card, much better than the Friday card, in my opinion. And again, these are just my opinions. You probably have your own. You should have your own, but maybe we can have some fun and pick out a couple of bombs. So get right into it here. Third race, first leg of the Pick Six. Very competitive heat. This is no conditions of any kind. You run your horse for $32,000. You could run a Grade 1 winner in here if you wanted to. Now you wouldn't, but it makes for horses stepping up, horses dropping down, and everything in between. So it really is tough, and I can't honestly tell you to single here. I would not. I mean, if you have a shorter bankroll, maybe you just pick a single and pray. But my suggestion is to spread this race deep. There are very few in here that you could actually throw out with any kind of confidence. I'm not going to speak about them all, obviously. I'm just going to speak about a couple. But, I mean, you could see Avantap, maybe. You could see Woodbine Way getting better since they added the blinkers right here. You can see he leaped down and bounced back. And this guy, Lorenzo Campazano, pretty sharp trainer. So, again, this one, She's Got Away, going to be a bigger number. Looks like it fits. Peter Yurden, we know all about him. Wouldn't throw that one out. This is one you maybe consider throw out, but you're throwing out a horse that's won 10 of 25, a professional racehorse, has some speed. We didn't talk about it, but the rails are out 24 feet after just 2 days of racing. So a lot of people feel that speed does much better when the rails are way out. I think it's more routing, but this is a 5 furlong sprint. Any kind of trouble on a very narrow Del Mar course, you're probably done for. So maybe you just wheel the opener. I'm not. Can't afford it, but some people would use this horse. Going to go show some speed and has run very well at Los Alamitos. This is the one that I'd consider actually taking a stand against. Recinto Rompere. He won 3 back, as you can see, but he's got a couple of off-form races against much better, but didn't do much running, and now they drop. And this horse has only had 11 races. I pay a lot of attention to. If you're the owner, why would you do that? Maybe she has got a hole in her, and maybe you fade her. I don't know. But there are people that are just going to say, I'm not going to let the favorite beat me. So they would throw that one in. Would consider actually throwing it out. She's a Joker is a horse that I would throw in. This, throw the dirt race right out. And you've got a horse that, came back to form 3-1 against about the same. And, this horse has ran at Del Mar, ran okay. Peter Miller, rock solid. This is another one here that I would consider throwing in. Ritty Girl, you notice, won a race at the distance at Del Mar, or not at Del Mar, but at Santa Anita. But certainly fits here, has some speed, and if something goes wrong with coruscation, maybe Gritty Girl can steal this. It's going to be a giant number, and you get one of the better gate jockeys in the country in Edwin Maldonado. Peleo's Princess, I think it's a use. I know you're tired of hearing me say that, but I don't know, I think it's a use. And this is the horse, if I had to single, this is the one I would use. Phil D'Amato dropping, but I think this horse has had 27 races, won plenty of money for anybody that's had something to do with it, and going to be finishing in a race that maybe if these horses go fast enough, maybe they can melt down. And this thing, again, was running in stakes, goes back on Lasix. I think it's an undervalued attribute. When a horse goes back on Lasix, sometimes they run better, and that's the case here. And then we don't even know about Rugula. If this horse gets in with the blinkers, that's more speed. So if this one gets in, then that might even lean more towards closers. Got to move on. Can't spend too much time on this. We're going to spend more time on the first 3 than the last 3. I'll just say that right now. Fourth race is very competitive. A bunch of really good young improving 3-year-olds. I hesitate to get too dogmatic about these. However, I'm going to do just that. I watch video of pretty much every horse on today's card, and Visceral, I would encourage you to go back and look at Visceral's debut. They take the blinkers off, Mark Glatt, rock solid, having a good meet, blah, 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 21% for the year. This thing had all kinds of trouble, and it doesn't really show that. It just says traffic. Okay, I'll take the blinkers off. This horse, I think, makes the lead, and as we saw in the first 2 days of the meet, speed was deadly on the main track. There's not a boatload of speed in here. A bit mischievous, has some. But you could take your pick on some of these other price horses. I'm going to single Visceral. A couple of these don't really fit. This one, Canada Gate, looked awful finishing. I mean, it got beat a long way by a very good saddler horse in Pony Express, but Canada Gate was on the wrong lead and staggering the last bit. I want no part of that. That's not Bob Baffert to me. Can't use Chuchi, the only 4-year-old in here. Baffert's got another one, comes out of the same race. Can't really like that one. I do like Indispensable out of that race, and I like Battle Cruiser a little bit. But the morning line, we got a new morning line maker, Jeff Siegel, done a good job the first couple days. I think he's missed one here, though. Battle Cruiser won't be 10-1. Indispensable is the one that comes out of the Pony Express race. This horse was finishing, and that may have been a kind of a funny track, too, and I keep an eye on that. They were well spread out, and when good horses are well spread out, sometimes it's the racetrack. Maybe it's a little bit loose. Horses can't get a hold of it. But I'd consider singling Visceral. On to the next one. 5 furlong turf sprint. These are tough because to get into any kind of trouble, you kind of have no chance. Turns are tight, rails are out, and this is a very competitive Calbred allowance race. Take your pick in here. I'm only going to talk about a couple. Baby Kristen won 9 races, and I guess it's going to be favored, but those are cheaper up there. But has lots of speed. Sometimes gets tired, sometimes not. And it's probably more of a dirt horse. But on this tight turf course, I think there's a lot of people that are going to use her. Bill McLean, pretty good trainer. But there is some speed in here to worry about. Miranda's probably going to go. Got a weird work tab, if you ask me. But Miranda had one time, But Gary Mandela having a rough go. He's a good trainer, though. Good horseman. Not talking about Bold Choice, not at all. Horse is going to beat me. O'Mandy just has a little bit of speed. De Rose, same thing. This is the one I would single, probably. Sancy Prasalot. Could bounce, I suppose, but won awful easy, and it won throwing its head around and was very erratic. Sassy Prasalot. I think it's going to be good again. Drawn outside, can kind of look him over. Freysu's as good as it gets these days. He is rock solid. And then the other question mark, if this horse gets in, then I really like Sassy Prancelot. I want to have somebody coming from just off it, not a deep closer. But if Sing a Happy Song gets in, you can see it face Giant Kid up there. Got some speed, but would certainly not. Nobody's getting away with anything by themselves here on the front end. I think Sassy Prancelot going to be very, very tough. And then again, we don't know about some of these alsos. Kind of wrap up the meat of what I would do here in the 6th. The last couple 3 are I think favorites. 6th race, again, a maiden claimer. This is actually the crux of my ticket. These are very, very soft. We'll just put it nicely. These are soft horses. There's not much talent in here. I know some people are going to like this horse, Antibes, going to the dirt. It's just a question mark. Most of them are very, very slow and just not much talent involved. This is one I would consider. Now, I've had a chance to announce some races for the last 30 years. I've been in the game a long time, but Sunray Park, I was there in 2004, got to announce there. It's a bull ring. You don't get a lot of great horses coming out of there, but Todd Fincher's very good. He's come in here with a couple of maidens over the last few years. Horses trained okay, but I'm giving this horse a chance only because it is a super, super soft race. I don't think you don't want to try these kind of horses against good horses. Anyways, I consider that one. I like Sir Rock. I think the morning line is way wrong. I think he's going to get some money. Showed speed in a route. Now they shorten up, drop into one of the softest maiden claimers that you will see in the history of the solar system. All right, go on. This is a horse. The reason that you might want to play this type of race just by itself is this favorite is, well, I shouldn't say awful, but I think it's Rick Ocasek, right? Anyways, it comes out of a very, very soft maiden 40, ran horrible, was in range, sitting right behind 2 dueling cheapies, and didn't beat anybody, just kind of fell apart, was on the wrong lead. This horse is going to get bet, and I don't like him 1 inch, not 1 inch. If you look at his Saratoga races, you could like him, but not off of that one, not off the comebacker, and now they're just giving him away. I mean, this horse costs $440,000. He should be better than that. And that's about it for this one. I guess if this guy drew in, maybe, but this is a plodding router, no real speed to speak of. And I'm playing speed until the track bias says otherwise. I don't know about you guys. On to the next 2, the 7th and the 8th. I think they're both favorites. This is the Cougar, 1.5 miles. an exacting distance. They're not going to get past Baffert. He's going to be favored. Reincarnate will be favored. And then Salesman is going to be the second choice, I think. But I don't think you get past those two. I mean, that's not brain surgery. So I'm not going to talk about it. I just think use both of them, call it a day. And then the last race, it's an absolute grab bag raffle. You can make a case for a bunch in here. I like Nation, obvious. I hate to finish the card with two favorites, but that's just the way the card lays out. I watched his Keeneland race, was much better than it looks. He was entered in November and scratched, and now they come back. They give him plenty of time. The 4-year-old now cost a bunch of money, $385,000. So I'm just going to live and die with Nation. You can make a case for maybe Quality Wins. American Glory's kind of got ran down late in the race at Santa Anita. And this Glandiford is interesting to me. He's going to be a giant number. Gelded, Lasix, maybe he runs better. Papa Padromo, pretty good trainer. I didn't really like Oscar Joy's race much, but that's it for me. These are my opinions. You guys do what you love, right? Go after the card. I think it's an opportunity to maybe make some real money if we can get home the right singles. Okay. Hope this is fun for you. We will see you down the road. See you at Del Mar. So you can see what I've done here. Added a couple of bombs in that first leg. And I actually added Glindford in that last leg. But $48, that's a reasonable ticket, I think. And I want to wish you all good luck.